Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a comparison of the brand new Kylie setting powder versus the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. So this has been my go-to powder. I love it. It's what looks great under my eyes. I can bake with it. It doesn't settle into fine lines and everything. But the Kylie just recently came out with her new powder, and I wanted to give this a try and see. It's a little bit cheaper than the other powder. Basically, the breakdown is the Kylie powder is 10 grams or 0.35 ounces, and it's $24. The Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder is 0.71 ounces, so 20 grams, and it's $34. So basically for $10 more, you're getting another whole 10 grams of product in this. As far as one of my complaints kind of about this so far, this Kylie powder, I wish they had some kind of a mechanism to keep the powder in, because traveling with this where it's just open and you just twist it off and it's all there, a lot of the times it comes out of there and it's a mess by the time you get to it. And the Huda Beauty powder has this pull tab, and then you have that with the netting inside. So it's a little bit more of a controlled aspect to it. Differences, I will say right off, there is no fragrance to the Kylie powder, none whatsoever. And the Huda Beauty powder, as you know from most of her products, is heavily fragranced. So if you're somebody that doesn't like fragrance, then or has an allergy to a fragrance, then right off the bat, then you're kind of, this one would probably be out for you. So that's something I like to let people know. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go in, I'm gonna put on my foundation and my concealer, and then I'm gonna come on and we're gonna test these two powders out. I'm gonna do some check-ins throughout the afternoon, evening, and I'll come back with final thoughts about what I think about the two of them. So if you are interested in seeing the rest of this video, keep watching. Okay, everyone, so let's get started with these powders and testing them out on each side. So I've already done my face in my Huda Beauty foundation in Creme Brulee, and I put concealer. This is my favorite concealer, so I wanted to go with the concealer that's, kind of my go-to, because I figured that would be the best to test these powders out with. So this is the High Coverage Creamy Concealer from Huda Beauty in Cotton Candy. And I've got that under my eyes. Now I'm just gonna take a sponge, and I always do this right before I go in with the powder, just to, again, really I do have like fine lines under my eyes. So just to make sure that those are, that there's not any concealer kind of in those wrinkles, really, I like to just do that. So what I'm gonna do is the Kylie Cosmetics powder on this side, and I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty powder on this side. So the Kylie Cosmetics powder I have is in the shade Yellow, and the Huda Beauty powder that I have is in the shade Pound Cake. So let's see. Let's just go in here, the Kylie powder. Just dump some into the lid like I normally do. And I'm gonna take this Morphe sponge and just tap that right in. And again, this is the Kylie side. And I really like to bake my under eye concealer pretty well. So let me just get a little bit more in there. And this is what I do with my concealer, is right in that area under the eye. I'll just go up there. Okay, so there's that so far. So let's go into the other side with the Huda Beauty powder. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Sometimes I hear people saying Huda, but I think it's really Huda Beauty. But sorry if I am, someone correct me. All right, so let's go in with the other side here with this powder and pound cake. So I'm just gonna take the other side of the sponge and just go right in there. And again, I really like to tap that in and around my eye. Right down the side of my nose. Right up to underneath my eye there. So just a little more, just to really get. All right, here's what it's looking like with the powder just setting on my eyes. So far, I mean, it's hard to, you really can't say anything at this point until we really dust the powders off. I know with my Huda Beauty powder, the minute I dust it off, it looks great. It really blurs imperfections and it does not sit in my lines or crease them anymore or make them worse. I've had plenty of powders in the past that I've tried that have just sat in those lines, and as the day goes on, it just gets worse and worse. So I've tested the Huda Beauty powder. It's my go-to, and that's the one that I know works well. I'm gonna give this about 5 minutes to bake under my eyes, and then we'll come back, I'll dust it off for you, and we'll take a look at what it looks like before I put on the rest of my makeup. Okay, everyone, I'm back. It's been about 5 minutes, so I just wanna take a brush and dust this powder off under my eyes and then kind of bring you in to see, so we can take a comparison of what this looks like. So I always use my KKW Beauty brush for this, for my under eyes. The thickness of this brush just really does well going under my eyes and just dusting everything off. So let's just go right in here to both sides. Okay, so let's zoom in and just really see what it looks like right now under my eyes. So like I said, you can see I do have some fine lines. Looking at both of them right now, I would probably have to say, again, I always like to do this too. The side that's probably looking the best for me at the moment is the side with the Huda Beauty powder. The other side is showing just a little, probably a bit more like crow's feet in here. It's kind of settled in there, that type of thing. I mean, there are some lines that you just, you're not going to get away with, but if you just look straight on, I think that this side is looking better. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go do the rest of my face makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll take another look and see once it's settled with everything on it. And I've, done like a spray, my Morphe continuous setting spray. I used that on there, how it's all settling. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. So it's been just over an hour and 15 minutes now. I went off, I filmed a couple of other videos, finished off my entire face look with all of the rest of my components in my face. And so I wanted to just come back on and just show you, zoomed in again, what the under eyes look like so we can see what the creasing factor and everything looks like right now. So let's zoom you in here. Okay, so here it is. Again, we have the Kylie Cosmetics on this side. We have the Huda Beauty on this side. And to me, there's not a huge difference because again, I do have a lot of creasing under my eyes anyways. I do have this one big line here that's a little more pronounced on this side than it is on this side. And I think if you're looking at it from like a blurring factor, I think that my face on this side does feel a little bit more blurred out to me. and less defined with the lines and any kind of texture I have underneath my eyes over on the Huda Beauty side than it does on the Kylie Cosmetics side. But, I mean, again, I don't necessarily know that it's a huge difference. So what I would say so far is, to me, these are kind of a dupe for one another. I'm gonna go off camera again and I'll come back again before bed in a couple more hours so that we can really see what it looks like on a, you know, like when 5 hours or so. It's 6:32 right now. We probably won't be going to bed or getting ready for bed until, you know, 10, 11 o'clock. That way it will give it a good 6 hours of time so we can really see like what a full day looks like. Usually for me, when a powder is gonna fail, it's usually near the end of my day. So I wanted to give this a good chunk of time so that we could really see. So I'll be back again in a couple of hours right before bed so that we can finish this up. Okay, so it's about 9:05 and I'm falling asleep. So I don't think I'll be making it till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tonight. So I wanted to just do this final check-in to talk about what the eyes look like here. So I'm in bathroom lighting and I think they just pretty much look pretty similar. I have, you know, again, I have the wrinkles, a little bit of bags under my eyes. So both sides pretty much look the same to me. So I think that that concludes for me that they're both about the same type of product. I mean, I don't really think there's huge differences there. So seems like a dupe to me. And let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this out or if you've compared to any other different powders to see, and let me know what you think of the Kylie Cosmetics powder. So that's it for now. Good night.